Let's start. Richard, what is ULEZ?
The ultra-low emission zone was started in the early 2000s by Boris Johnson, and before then by Ken Livingstone planned. And there was a very bad difficulty in air pollution at the time. This was due to poor motor design, poor car maintenance, and over traffic congestion in the central London area. Both those plans, both Ken's plans, Ken Livingstone's plans and Boris Johnson's plans worked out and were taken on board by the current mayor, Sadiq Khan, who has seen it to believe that if he extends his power and reach, firstly to October 21 to the North and South Circular Roads, and now on August 29th this year to the Greater London boundary.
Thank you.
Neither of which are needed.
Donnachadh, do these measures go far enough?
Good evening. I think it's a good step in the right direction. It only affects 8% of car owners in London are affected by these proposals. And I think the mayor's absolutely correct. Outer Londoners, where the highest number of premature deaths are now occurring from air pollution, deserve clean air. Why shouldn't our kids have the freedom to go to their nursery school and have the air reach legal levels of cleanliness? I think it's a good step in the right direction. And Boris Johnson's and Sadiq Khan's measures so far in the current ULEZ zone have been terrific in reducing the number of non-compliant polluting cars.
It's brilliant because also, for me, just on a personal level, it saved one life in 22 years, which is brilliant. So surely these messages, these moves don't go far enough, Richard. Surely there should be more.
Yes, I mean, let's start off by saying, what is air pollution in London? Only half of London's air pollution is traffic generated. The rest comes from wood-burning stoves, for example, gas-fired central heating, road, river and rail traffic. It is that side which is not going to be affected. If we took the World Health Organization's recommended pollution levels, which are not passed into UK law currently now, and stopped all traffic tomorrow morning, still the traffic pollution levels for WHO limits would not be met.
Are you suggesting that we should have the WHO now get involved in our own traffic as well as how we deal with the next pandemic?
Certainly the WHO limits are being considered by the Department of Transport, but they represent a half of what is currently in order.
Thank you. Donnachadh, what do you think it says about Sadiq Khan's leadership that he has to label everyone who disagrees with him a far-right extremist, Tory or vaccine denier?
I listened to what was said, and my understanding that's not what he said. He actually said some of them were from the far right, but actually there are opponents of this change from all political persuasions, right, left and centre. However, YouGov polling of Londoners as a whole has shown 2/3 of us welcome this because we actually want the clean air. The gentleman is right. The car pollution is only 50% of the pollution in London, but this 8% of car drivers contribute an overwhelming amount of the particulates and pollution. So tackling this small number of drivers is a good idea. And the idea, a lot of the critics of ULEZ have talked about the impact on poorer people. Well, 95% of poorer people in London don't have a car. And people living in the poorer parts of London, the more polluted parts, are 7 times more likely to die of pollution. So if we care about the poor, we should actually be supporting this. And as regards financial impacts on the poor, Laurence, I think it's really important that we're not talking about the millions of Londoners that the Tory government is insisting that the cost of travel, TfL fares are going up, and for the 1.5 million pensioners who are having the freedom to travel in the morning taken away from them by the Tory cuts to the
so many Londoners, pensioners that have been priced out of the capital city themselves are now being forced to pay a ULEZ charge and can no longer live it. And all of the greatest tragedies meted out on mankind have been done in the name of altruism. Anyway, thank you, Donnachadh, McCarthy and Richard Town.
Do you agree we should